Hello, my friends! Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Restart. I am so glad you're here today. I have done a lot of preparation within the last few weeks for this video. I'm excited. I have even gone as far as to draft up a little essay for myself so I can keep myself on track. If you don't know me, my name is Becky. It's nice to meet you. It's a great day. It is a good day to have a great day, it says on my little coffee coaster. So in today's video, I want to forewarn you that it's going to be a little chatty. I know I'm normally a little chatty anyway, but today I decided I really wanted to take you through the entire process that I go through from start to finish when it comes to budgeting out my month, because my goal is to budget my paychecks, forecast my available cash so I can use it for my cash stuffing envelopes, and make my planning and my cash stuffing going as smooth as I can. You know, it's a process, and we all go through the process, and it's individual. So everything that I have done within my budgeting journey, I have learned from people on YouTube along the way. And also, don't want to forget my good friend Dana. She's the one who got me started on the cash envelope system. Hi, Dana. Don't forget to drop by the idle.homestead and see Dana's videos too. We're going to come up with some great content for you, especially coming into this summer. So let's get started. I've got my cup of something wonderful, like Fly Lady says. So we're going to have a little bit of a sip session here. Let's get our sip session going. And let's get our coffee over here out of the way. That way we can get started. So here is our budget binder. It's starting actually to get fuller, which makes me happy. I love a colorful and full binder. I don't know what it is about it, but you know what? If it makes you happy, you keep going with it, don't you? So like I said, I'm going to take you through the entire process from start to finish on how I budget. You'll be seeing me reach a lot today. I have a computer in front of me that's going to kind of keep me on track. I even wrote notes out today. Can you believe it? I wrote notes out for myself so I can keep myself on check. So we're going to go through that process starting right now. So the very first thing is I'm going to open up my calendar. I've got it bookmarked here, and we'll go through step one. So Becky's step one, open the calendar and looking through my calendar and seeing where my paychecks are going to be. So if you saw my last video, you saw that I went ahead and I marked off where my paychecks are going to fall within the month of April. So I have two jobs. I have a full-time job and a part-time job. And so for me, I color code to kind of keep myself on track of where my paychecks are going to fall within the month. So for my part-time job, it's always every other Thursday. So I've blocked out every other Thursday of the month. I've checked my calendar on my work site just to make sure that I've got the dates that I need. And then for my full-time job, it's always the 15th and the 30th of the month. Sometimes if the 15th, like this one, falls on a Saturday, I'll get paid on the 14th. But I like to keep it simple. That's my method. My mom always says, use the KISS method. Keep it simple, silly. I'm doing that. So that's my first thing. Is step one is marking out my paychecks, and just kind of seeing where everything falls. Now I wanted also to kind of preface that this has been kind of a rocky start for me. I'm restarting, which is why I actually even started this YouTube channel, The Radical Restart, because everything seemed to kick and reboot itself in my life within the last few months. I started a new job. Within the past few months before that, I did not have a full-time job. I only had my part-time job. And so it was really, really crucial for me to kind of stay on top of my bills. But within those last couple of months that I did not have that full-time job, it kind of threw me off in terms of my budget. I felt like I was kind of smooth sailing. I had things on route, and kind of, you know, everything was falling into place in terms of a smooth sailing budget system. And then I didn't have a job, and so I started having to pay my bills as they came in. So for a while, I was literally taking my calendar, writing in every date that a payment was due, and then trying to organize within my budget where I could fit those in. So now I'm trying to get back on track. I'm in the restart process of getting ahead of the game, starting my savings back up. I had to quit my savings for a little while, start my savings back up, just kind of a, like I said, a reboot. So can you believe it's already April? I can't believe it's already the 1st of April. We're already within the first week of April. As a matter of fact, at this day of filming, it's April 7th already. So I'm looking forward to next week when I can pull out my cash and do my cash stuffing. Not going to be too much. You're going to find that out here pretty soon. But by the end of the month, I plan on having a little bit to pull back and put into savings. So now that we've done that, step one, mark out my paychecks. Then I'm going to go on to step two, and I'm going to show you something that I came up with. I like to do tip-ins. If you don't know what a tip-in is, a tip-in is just another piece of paper that you add to your planner. And I thought I would add that on screen today, just for the simple fact that if you don't know how to do a tip-in, it's always beneficial to see somebody do it. So I made a tracker for myself. I noticed that since trying to reestablish all of my bills, every once in a while one would fall through the cracks. And I'm like, how can I make sure that everything is being covered every month? And I came up with the idea of a tracker. So what I decided to do was to list out all of the outgoing finances that would be coming out of my paychecks in order of where they fall through the month. So for me, I'm focusing on, it looks like a lot, and it is, I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot, but I'm focusing on 9 debts. Now, mind you, they could be yearly subscriptions, they could be, not necessarily debts that are scary to me, but they're enough that I want to focus on them and get them knocked out. There's something that I can focus on and knock out as I go along. So you'll see that I have in my tracker, I have it labeled by month, and then I have listed bills or debts as they fall through my month so that I can keep track of making sure that everything is being covered. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this tip in. So we can do it on screen. I'm going simple, using the KISS method, because number one, I mean, who doesn't love a good washi tape? I don't want to lose this washi tape. So I decided, how in the world, I was going to try to do another layer of this beautiful Jane Davenport washi tape. I thought, no, I know how to fix it. I'm going to use Scotch tape. And the first thing I'm going to do, this is the side that I'm going to tip in. So I'm going to take my tape, and I know this is not the fanciest, but it doesn't have to be. That's the whole point of this method. Things that do not have to be perfect, just done. Let's see if we can get that to... Okay, so she's not wanting to come off. That's all right. I have scissors. I have scissors for this. So we're going to make sure that we leave just enough of an edge. Hope you can see that. Just enough of an edge so that I can flip it over and line it up with the page that I want to tip in. That's why they call it a tip in. So let's just go ahead and do that. Do a little line there using the eyeball method, which is, oh yes, my preferred way of doing things. I'm leaving just a little space, just a little bit. And I'll tell you why in a second, because if I don't leave a little bit of space, then in the coming months, as I use my tip in, I want to be able to have enough room for it to grow. So there we go. That's number one. And get that lined up and pushed down. One more layer on this side, and we'll call her done. And I can still see my beautiful Jane Davenport washi tape. And that makes me happy. Okay. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, so just because I want to see that washi tape a little bit more, I'm gonna use the end of my pencil, and I'm gonna zoom you in here a little bit so you can understand what's going on. You can see that it's a little bit foggy from that Scotch tape, but if I use the burnishing method, I can get a much more vibrant color coming through. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. Let's zoom you out here, reorganize you. Because I have to admit, I am a little bit OCD when it comes to my planner. If I don't keep it nice and vibrant, I don't use it. And I know that sounds silly, but I know me. And it's important that you know how you work and how your mind works. So for me, if I do it this way, it will help ensure that I will use it. You know what, I just noticed I don't have my pretty tape on this side. Well, that's okay. If I want to add tape a little bit later, I can do it that way. But I just burnish it down, that way it folds in the crease nicely. So number 1, I got my tip in. So number 2, I'm going to open up my planner a little bit, and we're going to take I decided to go in front of my calendar this month, which may or may not have been a great idea now that I'm looking at my tip in. That's okay. I will just tip it this direction. So this is the second part of my planning process. I take the days that I have in my paychecks and I transfer them to a clear sheet in columns. And like I said, I color code everything. So I have my part-time paycheck, full-time, part-time, full-time, with the dates at the top so that I can make sure I'm keeping in mind when these are coming out. So what I did this month is I took my budget. Remember, whenever we have paychecks, we never, here's the rule, we never budget the exact paycheck. I always leave myself a little bit of a buffer, even if it's $25 or $50. You know, if I make a small amount, like say $300, let's say our paycheck's going to be $300 this month, I would budget $275 or $250 at the top, just to make sure that I'm not going over, because we don't like those accidents. Those are not happy accidents from Bob Ross. Bob, that's not a happy accident. Okay, so the first thing that I'm doing is I'm looking through my paycheck, and I'm going to take my tracker, and I'm going to see if I am actually covering everything that I need for the month. So my first paycheck, I've got my tithes, and I have some savings. For my savings, I use Credit Karma. It helps me by deducting a certain amount. I can set a certain amount to go out of my paycheck every month. And it is just on automatic debit, where it will just take it out of my paycheck for me. I love it, absolutely love it, because during those times that I did not have a full-time paycheck coming in, I was able to reduce my savings for just a few months, and then as soon as I got my new job, I kicked it right back up. Credit Karma has saved me more times than I want to even give credit to, because I've been able to pull that out if I've had an emergency and just use that. So I have my savings, and so it looks like, if you can see, just for the sake of safety, and I don't know, there are a lot of people, hats off to you, YouTube community, for full transparency with your debts, but just for the safety of me and my family, I would much rather not do a debt confession on screen. So I have decided to list out my debts in debt number. So you'll see here, I have debt number 9. So we're going to go right here, and I'm going to check that one off. I have debt number 6. And it looks like, looky here. Can you see it? My first one is going to be a payoff. I'm so excited. Let's find out where she's at. There you are, right on my tracker. And this is how I go through my system as I am deciding that where I want to allocate all of my funds. Just go through, see where I can plug in these withdrawals on my paychecks. So I'm just going through to make sure that I've got everything covered. So let's see here. Oh, guess what? I don't have, yeah, I do. I have it at 7. Number 6 and number 8. So it looks like, that one isn't an extra payment. Oh, I know what that is. That's an extra payment from a minimum. So I try to find, if I find any extra income, even if it's $10, $15, or $20, sometimes I will throw an online payment of an extra $10 towards another debt. So this one had already been paid the previous month. The minimum had been met. I want to make sure that I throw a little extra on top of that one. So, all right, so I'm going to go through here, make sure I've got everything covered. My insurance, there's my phone. I don't know why I have giving twice. Oh, yeah. I do know why I have that twice. My phone, car. Wow. I'm missing some. My city payment. My subscriptions. And I've got my 5th one covered here somewhere. I just don't have it on screen. So I'm going to throw that one in just because I already know that I've got that one covered. And then we're going to move that on. So we've got all of our debts covered. And then we can look and see what we have available to do our cash stuffing with. So for me, that is always the next step, is once I have sorry about that. Once I have my debts covered, then I circle and see exactly what amounts I have to work with. And I kind of highlight them so I can see what's going on through the month. So you can see in this first paycheck, I'm going to have nothing, absolutely nothing to pay into my cash envelopes with. But that's okay because I am focused on getting my first debt paid off and out of the way. And hopefully next month I'll use that as a snowball method to work on my second. And then hopefully we'll just keep snowballing that forward. So I had $30 allocated for the month of April. I want to make sure I'm referencing my financial binder. So I was looking in to see what I had allocated for these funds that are left over. So let's go into our steps again. One last time. So step 1, we're going to do our mirror check. I forgot to show you my mirror check. I'm going to do that right now. So step 1, I do my mirror check. Let me show you what that looks like. My mirror check is here, right behind my calendar. I always do a mirror check at the beginning of each month, and I find out exactly what I have. I don't like to look at it, but you know what? It's important. What I have that I'm owing in each category. I check that off. Sometimes it's motivating because I can see the numbers going down. Sometimes I know I got a lot of work to do, but that's okay. That's why we're starting this. We've got to start somewhere. So I do first the debts, then I do the assets. So I look in to see any asset that I have. It may be a checking account, it may be a savings account. Like I said, I have a Credit Karma account, so I have that. I have a little bit of funding saved up in a high yield savings, so I include that. And that always kind of gives me a little bit of motivation. Hey, Becky, you know, it's okay. You're working towards it. It may not be exactly where you want it to be, but you know what? It's not where it used to be. So I always do this to give myself a little bit of motivation. And then I always look into my cash envelopes and I list out the categories I'm saving currently on, and I list those out. That's step one. So then step two, I open my calendar and I forecast for the month where my paychecks are. Paycheck dates. And then my next step is to turn to my budget sheet and simply budget out my paychecks. I kind of forecast. It's a budget forecast. So now that I have my forecast, and this may not be exactly what I have because my paychecks do vary. It may not be exactly what I'm forecasting, but at least I can have an idea. So after I have that idea, then I look at my high priority savings first. So let's look at that and see what we have. So for me, my high priority savings is going to be always my savings challenges. Okay, I'm back. I had a little bit of a snafu going within my personal planner versus what I have out here. And it's so funny when you're actually filming for somebody else or teaching somebody else, you can find your own mistakes. So guess what? Becky found that she had some mistakes in her budgeting system, so we're just going to fix it on screen. How about that? So I've got my calculator pulled up on my computer up at the top of the screen, so you'll see me reaching, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be figuring out what I need to do in order to fix out my budget. So the very first thing that I realized was I do not know. I actually do not know if I'm on track to meet my budget for my license plate challenge. And if you don't know about my license plate challenge, go back in a few episodes and you can hear me explain why this challenge is so vitally important for me. But I was looking at my tracker, and I have one here. It's crude. It's not perfect. It is what it is. But I have decided that I needed to go ahead and save up for my license plates renewal that'll be coming up in August. So I had figured out that I would need to save approximately $8 a week to be on track to be able to pay fully $175 for my license plates. So let's see if I'm on track for that. So it looks like I have already saved 5 weeks. We're going to go backwards from 5 and see if we're on track to saving that amount of money. So this week, starting in April, this should be week 6. So I'm going to take my pencil. I always mark everything in pencil. That's another trick that I won't necessarily always show, but I use pencil to help me, I don't know, pencil pencil helps me. So I'm going to go back here where I started and see where I'm at in terms of saving for my license plate challenge. So this should be, if I'm thinking correctly, I think I started my license plate challenge maybe this week. So we're going to say we did. So I'm just going to count out till August. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that one was 8. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that one. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17. So where did we leave off there? We just want to make sure that I've got this right. Okay, so I did that one. 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so I have approximately 21 weeks to save $175 for $8 a week. So I am on track. So that means now I need to go back into April and see. I have allocated approximately 8. Let's just do the math while we're on screen. 8 times 21. 8 times 21 is 168. So we'll have a little bit to make up. So it looks like that's what I have wanted to do on my tracker. I have put $10 in here. Do I think I can make that? Let me look at my binder. So I'm going to go ahead and put in $10. And then we'll look here and see. So we're going to do $10 for this week, week 1, and $8 for the second week of April. Okay, so I'm just going to note that as my license plate. 10 and 8 over here so that I keep myself straight. And so in my tracker, I've got $10. I already have $47 set up and saved up in my actual license plate challenge envelope. So I'm going to add $10 to that on my tracker. That will give me 57. And since I'm not a math person and everybody else is, you can all do it in your head. I'm going to do it on my calculator. I'm going to add $8 to that. So for my second week of cash stuffing, I should have $65 on my way to a $175 goal. Okay, so we're going to put that in our budgeting binder here. So I'm going to subtract from my $30, 18, and we're going to label that so we know that that is our license plate challenge. And we will have $12 left over. Since I don't have anything else allocated on my personal binder for this, I'm going to leave it for right now, because now I want to go into my next challenge, which is my 12-week challenge. Let's see if I can find my tracker for that one. Here it is. Let's just go ahead and get that one out and see what we had to do. Okay, so it looks like in my 12-week challenge, I have got some big numbers to fill. Looks like I have done some of my lower numbers, and now I've got the higher numbers to fill. So it looks like right now I have 260 into that challenge already. Looks like I'm going to be allocating $75 for that 12-week. And I have that noted here, $75. And then it looks like for the next week, I have a $40 payment that I want to make towards that 12-week challenge. So let's go ahead and put that one in there too. These two are going to cover these two are going to cover, I thought we're going to cover the first 2 weeks. Let's look here and see. Okay. So I'm just checking into my personal binder. So, as per usual, Becky makes mistakes, so we're going to copy in directly from our binder. What do I have here? I actually have a 50, 75, 50, and 50. I don't know where that came from, but that's okay. So we're going to do it this way. So we have our $40, which probably won't be this little one that I marked with a pencil. That box will be covered, and then that's going to leave us $70. And then it looks like I have allocated, I need a 50. So I'm going to go ahead and allocate that 50. And let's see where we're at. Okay, so I have 20 left over. So for at least the first 3 weeks, I know I'm going to cover $75, $40, and a $50 payment. So let's look here and see. We should have, by the last week of April, I'm ahead of the game, but that's okay. I don't mind being ahead of the game. Looks like we're going to have $425. Wow, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Let's celebrate. $425. Can you believe this? Where did we start? Let's find out. Where did we start in our messy system? Did we start here at the beginning of March? Or did we start in February? I didn't even put when I started. This is so exciting. This is actually so exciting. Okay. I don't think I even started in February. Ladies, ladies and gentlemen, I think I actually started in March. And look at this. I have got, yes, I did. I started at the very first week of March. You see my $40 payment up here. 40, 20. Looks like I got the 15 and the 20. Wow. This is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome. So we're We're ahead of the game and I didn't even know it. Okay, so I've got payments allocated. Excuse me. I may not be able to do a full 75. Let's see if I've got that allocated. No, I don't think I have that allocated. I may not be able to pull off a full 75 before April is over. But my goal was the middle of May. So I have almost reached my goal. I'm so excited. I'm so thankful. Yay, yay, yay. Okay. So now that we have 2 weeks of our license plates covered, we're still going to need 2 weeks of our license plates somewhere within here. And it looks like I have enough to make that happen because I still haven't allocated this. I've got $110 left in this section. Woohoo! Woohoo! You know what this means? Yes, you know what this means. This means I'm going to use my calendar right now. My calendar. I'm using my calendar, but I'm using my calculator too. Oh my goodness. I can actually make this 12-week challenge in, it's not 8 weeks because there were 5 weeks that I saved for in March. Remember, March, we had a bonus paycheck. So I started my 12-week at the very top of the calendar. And so I have 5 weeks. 9 weeks. 9 weeks. Can you believe it? 9 weeks. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. I wish I had little celebration emojis. 9 weeks, 12-week challenge complete. So this is my forecast. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of amen. Praise you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. So happy that we got this done. Okay. So as I'm going through here and I'm looking into my personal binder, I want to make sure that I'm covering my license plates. So license plates on this leftover, I had 2 weeks here. So I need to make sure that I've got these 2 weeks covered. And I think I want to go ahead. Yeah, I think I want to go ahead and do a little bit extra, just like I was doing for the first 2 weeks, since we know we're going to have a little bit to cover. Let's just go ahead and pull out our tracker one more time. So we've got $18 allocated up into week 7. Let's do another 10. So that's going to give us 75. So we're going to do 75, and then we'll do another $8. So that should give us a grand total of $83 by the end of April. Yay! Okay. So that $18, we're going to take that one just to keep it nice and neat. We're going to take that $18 out of this allocated fund. That leaves $2 there, and I still have a little more left over. I think the reason why I have overage built in is because I was building in a little bit of buffer for my Siri challenge. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you already, I already have where is my Siri Dice Game Savings? I already have it ready to go. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. I have $6 tucked away somewhere. So I've got $36. I don't know what I did with my extra 6, but I'll find it. I've already got $36 tucked away in savings for my Siri. So while we're on here, let's go ahead and do Siri. Hey Siri, roll a dice. Roll a dice.
Rebecca. How can I help?
Well, hello. Roll a dice.
Rolling. It came up 4.
Okay, so Siri, she decided she wanted to come up with a 4. So let's do 4. 4 for Siri. And then since we've got $6 out of this, we're going to put 2 in our overage. Hey Siri, roll a dice. And she just doesn't want to play. Hey Siri, roll a dice.
It's 6 this time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she's got 6. So Siri's going to do 6. And then that means we don't have anything for our overage. So let's go ahead and put that into our calendar while we're here. So for the first week, let's do Siri here. Siri. First week is going to be $4. And then $2 into overage. Second week was $6. Nothing in overage. So I'm just going to kind of separate those colors so I see that whenever I go to do my cash stuffing. Okay. Looks like we've got it done. All right. So we've got our license plates covered. We have our 12-week challenge covered, and it should be met by the end of April. I cannot believe it. See, this is the benefit of having the cash envelope stuffing system. I'm so impressed and excited, and I still have a little bit left over to play with. So I want to make sure that I allocate these funds in the best way possible. So I'm going to forecast taking $10 out of this section for Christmas. So that is going to leave $2 here left over going into my vacation fund. Do I know where I'm going? No. But do I want to continue to save for it? Yes, absolutely. Same thing here. I've got $2. I'm going to put that in my vacay fund. Why not? Then, since I have $10 for Christmas over here, I'm going to make sure that I have something in allocation here. So we're going to take another 25, and let's just allocate that one for Christmas as well. Christmas is kind of a big deal, you know? And then we're going to take $10 and we're going to put that in our self-care fund. Self-care is another fund that I put a little here and there because, you know, things come up. Face wash, you know, a new moisturizer, something that you may want, but you don't necessarily want to spend the money on it. But if you have something that's put aside, guess what? You don't feel so bad whenever it comes time to go, time to treat myself a little bit. Every once in a while, I'll pull out self-care fund and I'll take my girls out to eat, or, you know, do something, just something where I feel a little fancy. But for the most part, it doesn't hurt to just have a little here and there for yourself. I had one mom that told me, yeah, but you know what? I will just spend it on my kids. And let me tell you one thing, moms, I understand. I don't know if I've ever said this on screen or if you even know this, but I am a mother of 5. And I completely understand what it is like to feel like you're taking away from your kids. If you do, you do anything for yourself, you feel guilty. But let me just relieve you of that for just a moment and give you something to think about. So this is what I told her. I said, you know what? That's okay. If you feel like you're just going to spend it on them, that's okay. Get a cash envelope just for them. Why not? Set a few dollars aside for them. And, a little bit adds up. I was talking to her, I'm like, I was doing the math. I just said I'm not a math person, but the other day I got to thinking, $2. Just think about this. $2 a week adds up, right, to, say, 4 weeks. Or even $2, let's look at it. We're going to do the math together. Let's just say we have $2 a week. So 2 times 4. That adds up to $8 a month. But $8 a month, what does that add up to? That adds up to $72 in a year. Can you imagine having $72 for your kids at the end of a year? Guess what? That's birthday. That's Christmas. That's something fancy for Easter. That's a new pair of shoes and a jacket. Even more if you work at Walmart or if you go to Walmart, right? Those are things that we don't think about, but add up so quickly over time. Those little bitty amounts. So don't be afraid to use those little bitty amounts, because they'll add up for you. That's all I have for this video. If you have stuck around for the entire video, thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful that you showed up, and I hope you learned something along the way that can help you. I plan on doing another video to make some more cash envelopes, because like I said, I have a Walmart savings that I do now that I want to make a special cash envelope for. I have some footage of an envelope that I made that I did not share from my last video because it was quite long. It made it quite long, and I didn't want to go through another how-to. But I made this envelope here. I may go ahead and post it at some point on how I came up and made this little envelope just out of Happy Planner paper. It's nothing special, but it was just a little something that I did off of the top of my head. And it makes me happy. This is my Siri Dice Game envelope. So anyway, I may go ahead and post that. If you want to see it, let me know. And if you're still here, please like, subscribe, maybe even share with somebody that you know that may need a little extra help in budgeting or just a little boost, on how to kind of get your thoughts together. So thank you so much. Don't forget, like I said, like, subscribe. Let's find Dana's website. Definitely want to make sure that you go to Dana's website or YouTube channel, the Idle.Homestead. She's my bestie. She's the one that got me started on this journey, and we plan on having a lot of fun with you this summer. So stay tuned, share, and get the word out, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye-bye.